Hello, and this is my video on how to upgrade a Ford Ranger from a single dome light to a dome light with 3 lights. That is the one for the doors, the courtesy lights, and 2 map lights. My old light gave out. I had to tap it in order to get it to work. Then after a while, I had to hold pressure on it in order for it to work, and then it finally just gave out. So I took it off, threw it away, and I looked up how to hook up one of these things. This is a dome light for the next earlier generation of Rangers, and they fit, they fit perfectly, but you do have to do a bit of modification to them. So what I did was, if you see, hang on, let me try and adjust the flashlight here. Sorry, this is kind of a pain. So, okay, if you could see right there, get my pen as a pointer. There's like a couple gouges right there. So what I had to do there is you have to grind with a Dremel a piece of this little ribbon right here. These dome lights they don't really have wiring diagrams. They're more like a circuit board. So what you have to do is you have to grind off the brass right there, because what that would do is, if you didn't run the extra wire for constant power, every time you open the door, all 3 lights would come on unless you switched it. Then basically that would turn the light off because it's not completing the circuit, because your constant power and your switched power are all running together through the same circuit. So you have to cut that. That way it separates the 2 circuits. This is on 1 and these are on 2. And then, this will just turn on whichever side you switch it to. I'm going to put that back in the middle. So that's the modification you have to make to this thing. You just grind that little piece of brass right there. You can see a couple of gouges right there. I don't know how clear it is for you guys. Let me try and get it a little closer. Yeah, I don't think you could see those gouges right there. They're 2 side by side. Almost looks like a number 8. That's when I got a little too aggressive with it, but I didn't, it's plastic on the other side, so it held up beautifully. Just didn't go all the way through, which is fine. But yeah, you cut that little strip off right there, and it's right next to the switch. And that's one thing you got to do. The other is you have to run the wire to for the constant power that turns on the map lights, or that energizes the map lights. This is the switched for the door, and then that's constant. And then this little tab right here, that's the ground screw. So what I had to do is I took the headliner not off, but you just take off the little screws that hold on your sun visor, and then the 7/32 bolts that hold in the handle, and then you pull off the little the A pillar right here, and then I ran the wire down into the little cubby right here, and then that little green wire goes to this the knob that controls the headlights and the the tail lights, the daytime running lights. That little green wire with the red tracer, that's a constant power wire. I just tapped it into that and then ran it up through here. And then the other end is connected to this thing. I already fed the wire through. Feeding wires isn't that interesting. I'll include a link in the description where I bought this thing. This is actually a Ford part, and they insert quite easily. You basically put this in at a 90-degree angle perpendicular to the roof, or perpendicular to this plate, and then it flips into place and then locks into place. If you buy one and look at one, they're pretty, they make, sense just looking at it. So that's how you, connect the wire. Oh, and one thing I'll add, I heard several places that your interior fuse box is supposed to be right here. On my truck, that's not the case. It's actually in the passenger footwell right there. So in case someone's freaking out that I don't have a fuse box, it's right there. There's that holds the tab for your finger. So now I'm actually going to put on the light, and hopefully y'all can see that. Okay, yeah, you can. So, this little tab right here, that's a guide. There's a little slot right there that'll go right into. Okay, now I need a third hand here. Yeah, this isn't, you know, Hollywood, you know, quality production video, but it's more for, you know, the useful tips. Let me grab my electric screwdriver to make quick work of this. Okay, that's holding it up there. Oops, that didn't quite go in right. It's not lined up right there. There we go. That's seated nicely. Okay, let me swap hands here because I'm right-handed. Get that other screw in. Okay, last one. Okay, now I'm going to close the door. I'm going to pop my LED bulb back in, and voila! I have the dome light, and then the map lights is 1, 2, and the best part is that this dome light focuses all the light downwards instead of everywhere. Oh, and of course, I also got the lens, which I never even took out of the package. So I'm going to do that right now. There we go. And then just pop that cover on. If it'll do it. There we go. Just needed some persuasion. There we go. And then open the door. There we go. And it looks factory, because those are factory parts just installed in an aftermarket fashion.